Good evening, women's football fans. Hope you're enjoying your Wednesday night, and we do have a WOSO Wednesday here for you at Wanderers Football Park. It's the last of the Sapphire Cup quarterfinals for this year, and all NPL Women's New South Wales clash. And the Western Sydney Wanderers Academy host Manly United, with the winner earning the right to play a Sapphire Cup semi-final away to Northern Tigers. There's Eric Subihano here with the commentary from Rudy Hill. Absolutely delighted to see this opportunity, or to get this opportunity to call what I refer to as the greatest cup competition in the world. And yes, it really is a big deal. It's great to see that New South Wales finally has a women's knockout competition for its NPL and Football New South Wales ambitious grassroots football teams among the lot of us as well. So it's usual kits for both, the customary red and black for the Wanderers, the what would we call that, the royal blue for Manly United. And I think we'll go through the two lineups and try and sneak that in before the game starts. So firstly, for the Wanderers, expecting a 3-4-3 for them. In goal, number 20, Annabelle Kroll. At the back, number 27, Charlotte Bradshaw. Number 3, Savannah Murray. Number 2, Annabella Keep. In midfield, number 13, Alvina Marie Kashaba. Number 6, Maya Khalil. Number 29, Ruby Betro. And number 11, Alyssa McKenzie. In attack, number 8, Mia Natali. Number 17, Alyssa Ungsad. And Wanderers captain for this evening, number 21, Amy Barker. Now, for the visitors, expecting a 4-3-3 shape for them, and it looks like they're already ready to kick off. In goal is number 40, Georgia Ritchie. At the back, number 11, Lucy Richards. Number 3, Grace Arnold. Number 15, Ava Roberts. And number 2, Phoebe Gilbane. In midfield, number 7, Chloe O'Brien. Number 6, the captain, Ruby Jackson. And number 37, Kayla Osborne. In attack, as there's the whistle, away we go. It would be number 12, Brindley Gentle. Number 9, Emily Manette. And just early touch on the ball there is number 38, Sienna Dale. The Wanderers coached by Jamie Dibb. Manly coached by Tom Hopley. Yes, you know, 3 of the 4 Sapphire Cup semi-finalists. So congratulations to Hills United, University of New South Wales, and victors on a very wet night last night at North Taramara, which was Northern Tigers with a 3-0 win over Illawarra Stingrays. Great job last night by Annabelle Banfield on the call in the rain. It's good to see tonight's camera operator, Sophie, backing up from last night at North Taramara, and it's good to see you dried out, Sophie, after what looked like a very uncomfortable evening last time out on the northern beaches. So for the Wanderers, only 1 defeat in the league so far. The kids in red and black having a great season. They're currently 3rd place in the league, 27 points, and they've troubled the scorers a fair bit. 27 goals scored by the young Wanderers this season. Manly United into this one in 6th place on 18 points. But it's the cup action. That's the focus of this evening, as Dale, early touch, and back to Bradshaw. Nice ball, switching it out to Annabella Keep. For the Wanderers, backing up 3 days after exciting 3-2 victory over RPL Leichhardt on this very patch of grass, as that ball was touched out for a Wanderers throw by Richards. For Manly, as that's offside against the Wanderers. For Manly, a longer than usual time between their last league game. They were in league action on Friday night when they defeated Spirit FC by 3-1. Here's Roberts. Long, Bradshaw, eyes on the ball, heading it up. Gilbane wants to head it forward. Good distance on that. Bradshaw with another play at the ball, and here's O'Brien. Will run through to Annabelle Kroll. Might wait for the pressure which arrives from Minette, and then uses the gloves. Wanderers to play up from the back. Execute a press, even Gilbane's getting well forward from right back. The ball down the line, and you can see the idea from Kashaba there. Looking to find Natali's run. Natali, who's from my memory played a few different positions for the Wanderers Academy this season. They appearing on the left-hand side of the Wanderers front three. Now it's Manley and the cross from Richards hitting the other number 11, Mackenzie. And I think that's going to be played out by Annabella Keep. So be Richards gets it back from Minette. Minette out wide, finds Richards. Tackle there, possibly from Mackenzie. Do apologise, my eyes aren't the greatest, as somebody you would know. Betro's back defending for the Wanderers. Osborne's scrapping away for the ball, and I think Betro got the touch off her direct opponent. By the way, can't forget, shout out to the third team, the match official. So in the centre with the whistle is Isabella Mosson. You may remember her, referee in the recent A-League Women's Grand Final. And congratulations to you, Isabella, as there's a lay off the shot. Side-footed effort, and save in the end. A dipping side-footed strike from Osborne. Tipped away by Annabelle Kroll for the first corner of the game. It goes to the visitors. The other match officials today, the assistant closest to us is Amber Morris. The assistant on the far side, as we see things, is Casey Fleming. So we'll go through the two sets of substitutes when we get the appropriate break and play, but more important matters in the form of this corner, which Arnold takes low edge of the box. Osborne not quite getting the contact she did with her last effort. Natali just decides to boot it towards midfield, where here's Gilbane. That's up. Now I think Osborne got back on side. It's a decent header looking for Osborne. Murray is the player on the way to clear the ball for the Wanderers. Barker has an option. It was to her left, but she goes for a conservative pass to the right and keep. And now it's missed by one player from each side and sweeping up at the back. Here's Roberts back to Ritchie, and Ritchie finding Dale. Jackson just clears it over the sideline. By the way, the substitutes for this evening. Start with the Wanderers, because substitute keeper would be former Manly United shot stopper Charlotte Church. Now, with the red and black, and hold that thought as it's a run from Kashaba, has a wide option. Here's Natali. And decent cross, but that's a good save. Good claim from Georgia Ritchie. Yes, the rest of those Wanderers substitutes are joining Charlotte Church on the Wanderers bench for this evening. Madison Gabila, Mary Dalbroy, Millie Bennett, Frida Caraberis, Sophie Ongle, and Miriam Zamaya. I believe, as we've got a stoppage, just to check on Ruby Jackson, but good to see the Manly skipper is okay to continue. That Millie Bennett and Miriam Zamaya involved in the recent Young Matildas training camp, plus that two-game series against New Zealand that was down in Canberra. So as Mackenzie tries to get around Richards, on the cover is Arnold, and Arnold was taken out by Mackenzie, so danger over for the visitors. By the way, the bench for the visitors, the backup keeper is Jodie Draver. The others who we may see later on this evening: Emma Bates, Ariella Cabezas, Sarah Whelan, India Horsley, Ellie Kerr, and Mackenzie James. Roberts advancing, and that's a decent ball to Minette. Keeps it moving. Nice switch of play, and Dale, this should drop for Sienna Dale. Down the touch line and around a couple of players. Good crossing position. And Dale has the cross deflect off Kashaba. That will be the second corner of this this evening's game. And 8 minutes played, or thereabouts, here in Rudy Hill. 0-0 between the Wanderers and Manly, as Arnold will trot over to take another kick from the flag. Everyone back for the Wanderers. Arnold high into the back post. And they will retrieve it round the back as Osborne, and the first time ball in, which Murray reads and gets rid of the danger. So, the Wanderers, in addition to being amongst the goals in the league, averaging more than 2 goals scored in the league, 2 goals scored per game in the league so far. And as the ball goes out, legendary women's football photographer Dan Allman gets an early touch. But yes, the Wanderers in the Cup definitely been amongst the goals. 8 goals across the 2 Cup games to date in the league. Oh, sorry, 2 Cup games to date this year. It's a 4-3 away win to Sydney University in round 3. The round of which NPL teams enter the competition. Notably a hat-trick for Alyssa McKenzie that night at Sydney Uni Football Ground. And then in round 4, the Wanderers 4 goals on another away trip in the Cup, defeating MacArthur Rams by 4 goals to 2 at Linwood Park, or Linwood Stadium as it is curiously referred to in Drip. Work back to Richie. Now the pressure comes from Natali, and Richie finds the fence that, or one of the fences that separates this field from the field in the distance, and Richie, despite Natali's pressure, looked to be pretty unbothered. Bradshaw. And that is a foul committed on Amy Barker. As might be up for grabs in the middle of the park, lofted towards Khalil, but Osborne is retrieving the ball on the visitors, and that's a nice ball from Gilbane. And Dale, could be promising. 2 options in the middle. There's one-on-one with Kashaba. Dale back onto the right foot, and past Kashaba, cuts it back, and it's in, and that's Brindley Gentle. Courtesy of the excellent setup work from Sienna Dale. Gentle taking a great position on the edge of the 6-yard box and has put it over the line. So an early goal for Manly, and they lead by 1-0 over the Wanderers. Gilbane involved in the move as well, as Dale found space on the side nearest to us. And then taking on a defender and keeping her head inside the penalty area by playing the perfect cutback for Brindley Gentle to score. And that would be in addition to Brindley Gentle's 7 goals in the league so far this year, 1 goal in the Cup now. As the Wanderers go straight down the other end, and Sard keeps it away from Arnold. See, I think is McKenzie. McKenzie under pressure from Richards, driven backwards. More centrally here is Khalil. Bradshaw keeping the move going. Lofted up and over Osborne, and Sard almost getting a touch there. Now swings it in, and that's a great shot and a great save from Georgia Ritchie. As Natali really wound up with the left boot, and Ritchie pushing the shot wide and then getting up quickly enough to prevent any chance from the rebound. So it's a decent response from the Wanderers. Good to see. No sign of them letting their heads drop after conceding the first goal. Now for Manly, their last game in the Cup was, well, wasn't just in this in the same part of the city. They actually use the same driveway to enter the venue, but their round 4 cup game against Blacktown Spartans, and we ended it with a scoreline you don't often see, 6-2 after extra time. And the last time I saw the game end 6-2 after extra time, Danny Choi had scored from 70 yards out, but that's another story. And as Manette and skill in a tight space, Wanderers will win the throw though, but it's going back to that cup game between Manly and the Spartans. Not only did Manly score 6 goals, but how's my note taking? All 6 goals in the 83rd minute or later. A real flurry at the end, and the opposite to what Manly have done this evening by scoring early. For the record, in that 6-2 win over the Spartans, there was Anita Zordan scoring 4 goals, if you can believe that, and there was a brace for Jasmine Robertson as well. Bradshaw plays it out. It will be throw-in right by the corner flag. Khalil not letting the cross from Gaben go past her. And they keep it moving. Gaben in a little bit of space, so is Dale on the right. Decent cross and played away. Now Osborne quite control the dropping ball, and the deflection does make its way to Manette. Is Gentle, who couldn't get there in time, and on the back, that is Alyssa McKenzie. Some room. Now that's what they fired at Ningsad there. Now possession back with the visitors. Bradshaw getting there ahead of O'Brien. Kroll. Now, overhead pass, and that's given the ball to Manly. Third quarter coming up for Manly. A few good aerial targets. Grace Armour possibly to aim at. Manette's up, so is O'Brien, so is Gentle. Goes to the back post, and the shot comes in from O'Brien. Safe hands from Annabelle Kroll. Now Betro keeps it away from Richards. Barker. Now a little bit of space for Khalil, but not for long. The pressure is coming. Now one for Betro to chase. Gilbane is there as well, and just opts for safety. Deal with the threat for now, forcing the Wanderers back. 18th minute here at Wanderers Football Park, and it's Manly leading the Wanderers by a goal to nil, courtesy of Brynley Gentle. About the 12th minute. And player shouts tell the tale, handball against the Wanderers. O'Brien. Quite rapid boot around it enough, so Kashaba. Khalil, and Barker holds off Jackson. And well, it leaves the ball behind her, but the decision goes the way of the Wanderers captain. This is the 4th edition of the Sapphire Cup. The first year in which the quarterfinals have been live streamed, so we thank you for your company. And thanks for joining us on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. So in the previous 3 editions, it was only the semi-finals and the final that were streamed, so good to see that the coverage has been expanded. As Mackenzie goes on a run, that's stopped by Arnold. There's a pretty high chance of a new name being added to the trophy. As Northern Tigers, victors last night 3-0 over Illawarra Stingrays, the only team who have previously won the competition that's still left in it for this year. They won it in 2024. As Apia Leichhardt defeated in round 4 by UNSW. Apia Leichhardt, winners of the Sapphire Cup in 2023 and 2025. Yes, there's tackle from Khalil there on the far side. Touch out, I think, off O'Brien. The draw has already been made for the Sapphire Cup semi-finals. As I said earlier, winner of this game will be away to Northern Tigers in the semi-final. And the other semi-final is Hills United at home to UNSW, which coincidentally is also one of the fixtures you can watch this weekend on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel, with Hills United hosting UNSW at Valentine Sports Park, Sunday 5:30 p.m. kickoff. Betro, producer the body. Now, Roberts has a scramble, works it back to Richie. Roberts under pressure from Sard, down the line, and Betro, decent enough first touch, coolly plays it back to Keith. Gentle, well, Murray lets it bounce but wins the header, and Murray also fouled by Gentle there, so we'll have a brief stoppage just to check on Savannah Murray's welfare. Rush Physio already in position. Would they be signalled on? Murray, I think, will get up. I hope. Back on her feet, that's good to see. We'll work back to fixtures this weekend in NPL Women's New South Wales. I suppose most people watching would be interested in the weekend fixtures involving these 2 particular teams. As Gilbane blocks Kashaba's cross. A look from O'Brien, looking for Gentle. Now some target forward work required here, and successfully done. There's the supporting one from Richards. Dale wants the switch of play, but it might go the other way towards Manette, and that's the command of the penalty area from Kroll. Now, yes, Manly United, their next fixture, which of course you can watch the same way you're watching this one, 5 p.m. on Sunday. They host Sydney University at Cromer Park. On the commentary roster for that is Emily Arnold. We get to hear Emily's dulcet tones on Sunday. Great addition. Emily, first year in our commentary team as the Wanderers attack. And it's cleared by Roberts. For the Wanderers, they're involved in the next NPL Women's New South Wales match of the round. Sunday, 5:40 p.m. They travel to the Crest to take on Sydney Olympic. And it will be Annabelle Banfield with the commentary from the Crest there, at least according to the roster. Swung in. Now around the back, Kashaba couldn't get there in time. Half clearance from Dale, and the volley, which doesn't appear to be troubling Richie too much, and indeed it goes wide. 24th minute here. And last of the Sapphire Cup quarterfinals for this year. Brindley Gentle's early goal is what separates the two teams. Kroll zips it out to the near side. Good first touch from Bradshaw. Now Khalil, past one challenge, but Gilbane is snaffled up on a slightly loose touch. Killer ball attempted by Osborne here, and then Keep has done just enough to deal with the situation. In fact, got the touch off net for a goal kick. I talked about 3 of the fixtures to be played on the weekend. Might as well talk about the rest. So, Saturday NPL Women's New South Wales action, the fixture we like to call the Arctic Affray. Saturday 3 p.m, Spirit hosting Ravens from the Arctic Circle. I'm not on commentary, but if you listen closely enough, you'll probably hear my voice. And then a match in which you'll definitely hear my voice, Sunday 2:40 p.m. from Northbridge Oval, Bulls versus Rangers, as the cross comes in, and a little bobble, but dealt with well enough by Kroll. Of course, Bulls versus Rangers, a rematch of a semi-final from last year. Sunday 3 p.m, what do we call this? The Picton Road Plate, Macarthur Rams versus Illawarra Stingrays from Linwood Park. 4:50 p.m. on Sunday from Lambert Park, the Monowalker Melee, which is RBL Leichhardt versus Northern Tigers. Yes, as always, plenty of choice for women's football fans on a Sunday. There's also the second tier match of the round in League One Women's, 5 p.m. Sunday. It's Blacktown City versus SD Raiders from Landon Stadium. As Dale, the second defender, does the job. Good work from Khalil and Bradshaw working together. Now, a little bit of room for O'Brien. Now, Jackson. Cross comes in from Richards, and Manette doesn't get the touch. Defended well by Bradshaw. The header does go to Barker. Barker keeps it on this side with Natali. Now inside, but it's broken up by Roberts. Betro with the header, Barker, pressured by O'Brien. Now, it's going back to Kroll. Well, that's a good cushion pass from inside. Barker keeps it away from 2, might open up on the left-hand side or even through the centre. There's lots of room for Maya Khalil and 3 players with her. Decides to wind up for Rangers, dipping, and it's a good save from Richie to tip it over the bar. So that is the first corner of the game for the Wanderers, and that has encouraged the home fans here. It's a thrilling counter-attack. The Wanderers have shown a lot of that this season. Khalil taking advantage of the space that was afforded to her. And a dipping 30-yard effort, which had Georgia Ritchie at full stretch. So everyone back for Manly, and defenders are up from the back. But they go short to Barker, who's got it on the left foot, and I think that's Grace Arnold, who's quick enough to block Barker's shot, and actually, well, for a brief moment, the furthest forward sensibly holds it up. Now it's played forward. I think that was Gilbane. And it's up. Might work for Manette. And Manette has been fouled by Khalil. Now, and they keep it moving, and Dale, we've already seen how much he loves running at defenders. Into the box. Gilbane now. And O'Brien. Trying for the run. She wanted Dell to make it Dell, but we can't blame her. She's made a lot of sprints recently. Quite willing to make another run. Now, another halt to play as the Wanderers play it down on the turf. I think that's Alyssa McKenzie, and yes, the physio has come on. Like, hopefully it's not too bad. She is sitting up at least. It's time to take stock of things as we're approaching the half-hour mark, with Manly leading the Wanderers by 1-0, courtesy of Brindley Gentle's eighth goal of the season across both league and cup. McKenzie back to her feet, so that's good. She will have to spend a brief moment of time off the field at least, but I don't think the Wanderers would be forced into any kind of early substitution. As players a little bit of break. Now everyone back to positions. I can tell you it was unusually warm for the end of May. Actually starting this. As of right now, I'm only wearing a jersey. No thermals, no jumper. I did not expect that. I had not planned for that, but I thought entered my head because it is starting to cool down and become more like customary late May weather. So I reckon my jumper will be needed at some point. As forward it goes, and Natali will give chase. Roberts has the front position, decides to just not take any risks. So I have a lot of memories, actually at this venue as well, of being rugged up and gloves and all, beanies and whatnot for Sapphire Cup games. So something a little bit more temperate this evening as the foul is committed by the Wanderers there. Flick on there. Now that's we played back, and here is Kroll. Not that much pressure. Kashaba does keep it in. Support from Khalil, and let it run across her body into where the open space was. That's clever play from Khalil, and now keep. On the other side, that's a good first touch from Richards. The 1-2, O'Brien lending a hand, or you know what I mean, but the attack doesn't last for long. Keep. And now Barker not quite on the same wavelength as her teammates, which is unusual, it has to be said. Osborne and now Minette. Well, it's a sideway pass going astray, and a smart head from Barker to Sard. Oh, it's a great one-on-one challenge from Arnold. And keeping possession before the move centrally. Minette able to turn, looking for Gentle. Gentle couldn't make it stick, so here is Kashaba. Kashaba threading it between defenders, and Arnold send it into the fence, the side nearest to us. 33rd minute here in Rudy Hill. Wanderers 0, Manly 1. in. Now, actually, I do get the feeling the Wanderers have made a sub. I just have to confirm that for you, but there's the shot comes in. Natali slices one wide. Okay, so I think unfortunately it's been an early end to the proceedings for Alyssa McKenzie, so I hope it's nothing too bad. They have had to use the first sub window, the Wanderers. Number 5, Millie Bennett. Another player who was involved in the recent Junior Matildas, involved in the recent Young Matildas 2-game series against New Zealand, alongside players such as Sienna Dale. Millie Bennett coming off what I thought was an excellent season with the Wanderers A-League team. Memory started the majority of the games. Also scored her first A-League goal, Millie Bennett. I think it was here back in January. It was a 1-1 draw between the Wanderers and Canberra United. Millie Bennett taking up her position, customary position on the right-hand side of the Wanderers formation. Those of you that are following along and using the Dribble app, yes, Amelia Bennett and Millie Bennett are the same person. I was surprisingly slow to figure this out. As the turn from Gentle and then Betro recovering. It was a needed intervention because there were 2 Manly players charging through the centre circle, hoping to join a counter-attack. As Arnold will take it wide and down the line. Goes back. I think that's Annabella Keep. Dale having herself centrally, and Dale drifting inside provides room out wide for Gilbane. Now Gentle's drifted wide as well, but Bradshaw gives the throw. That gains about 7, 8 or 10 metres. Now, another throw. 3 consecutive throw-ins for Kashaba. Up. Then Natali to Kashaba. That's good play in a tight space, and then Kashaba, but it's blocked off by O'Brien. O'Brien again. Kashaba with the header, which only finds Gilbane. And Dale is onside. Dale away from multiple players before Khalil sticking to the defensive task well, and that's created room for Barker, and then Barker might have left it too far in front of Bennett. So Arnold's going to have a go at this, and then Grace Arnold's just said it's gone in late on Annabella Keep. Bennett keeps it moving. It's going to be a header from Gilbane, and then the drop of the ball is Kayla Osborne. This one, Dale was hoping it would drop. For her, it did not. Turn and run Barker, and Barker, now Usad gets it back. Barker, now Natali leaves it. That's nice play. Kashaba, cross blocked by Gilbane, and as the drizzle has arrived here, Rudy Hill grateful for this roof above our filming position. I really hope it doesn't drizzle like this on Sunday. Anyway. Flick from Bennett, and Exard is after this one. Bennett, 1-2, and Exard keeps it in, wins the corner off Jackson. So that's good play, approaching half-time here. The Wanderers trying to gain a foothold in this one. To get everyone back to Manly. Kashaba signals. Swings it in. The keeper doesn't really deal with it. Move to the edge of the box. Barker shoots. Deflects off Manly. They've done just enough, but Barker might get a second chance. Bradshaw shoots from range. It's curling, and that's a good save. Is it still in? It is. So the cutback is put wide. That was the best chance of the game so far for the Wanderers. And they kept the pressure on off the set piece. Natural with a precise curling effort, which had Richie at full stretch. I think it was Bennett retrieving the loose ball to create the chance. Effort goes wide, but there you go. That if Manly didn't already understand how well the Wanderers can threaten, it was a warning. More than a warning. They've done to scare the visiting fans here at Rudy Hill. And net can't thread it through. And that was kind of intercepted by Richards. Just about keeps it away from Bennett. It's good discipline to win the throw. She wants to get on with it. And good strength from Exard to hold off Arnold. Touch goes off the Wanderers for a Manly throw. Mark, another nice turn, threading it through Exard after this one. Roberts, has she prevented the corner? Yes. So Bennett will prepare for this throw-in. It goes, and to bounce a couple of times in the box before Gilbane has had enough of that. And ball's allowed to bounce with the collision between Gentle and Murray. The net will keep it moving. It's 1-on-4, but the support is coming. Is Dale, and she's found the ball to Sienna Dale. This could be a chance, and Dale skims the side netting. Goal kick. Okay to continue. Now, Natali. There's the return ball, but Richards with the speed. Slows this Wanderers attack down. Barker intercepts. Here's Khalil. Kashaba already wants to join the attack. Look over the shoulder to see where Dale was, and then nice ball through to Natali. Gilbane takes the sting out of the cross, and then Roberts clears. Now she faces forwards. Barker holds off Jackson. Getting the in-tank side. Doing your best to slow it down, but it's played to Betro. Vetro looking for support. One of them is Natali. Lots of blue jerseys back. Natali perhaps with another go. And then it's Gilbane with the clearance. It's a 44th minute here. And we might have a stoppage because Chloe O'Brien, I think that's Chloe O'Brien just sitting on the grass, and the physio has been waved on. See O'Brien back on her feet, so Major walking off under her own steam. Major won't be too long before she's back on the field. Back is here with the Wanderers defenders. Those Wanderers, I said, they'll be in the match of the round on Sunday. Actually, they've got the next two. They're on the next two NPL Women's New South Wales matches of the round, because actually the roster says Sunday 7th of June, 5 p.m. Wanderers versus Illawarra Stingrays here at Wanderers Football Park. Be a match of the round. That's called by Annabelle Banfield as well. Wanderers stay at home on Sunday the 14th of June, 5 p.m. kickoff here. And they host the league leaders UNSW. And then again, they're at home Sunday 21st of June. And Wanderers hosting Hills United. Commentary from Emily Arnold. And then Sunday 28th of June, Wanderers are away to MacArthur Rams. So it'll be a 3 p.m. kickoff at Linwood Stadium. And the roster says Mark DePaoli will be calling that one. Anyway, we're into stoppage time. There's a little bit of room for Bennett. She goes direct, and Gilbane is in the way. Bradshaw. Another touch. Murray, diagonal to Bennett. Bennett was obstructed illegally by Richards. Possibly the last chance of the opening period. Murray senses the opportunity. She's trotted up from the back. Only O'Brien left up as they defend this set piece. Decent enough delivery, but it's a good header away. And Dale should get to this first. Away. O'Brien holds it up. Now Osborne. And then Osborne takes a tumble, but keep things moving. Betro keeps it away from two. Now Kashaba wants the ball down the left-hand side. Betro puts it between defenders, but Gilbane is quick, and Gilbane did not deal with it. And then actually Gilbane in the end's done well enough getting the touch of Kashaba, so it is a goal kick. She goes towards midfield. O'Brien plays him Auckland forward. Now Khalil and Barker. Supporting run in the near touchline from Natali. And rolls it towards the corner flag. Gatsby couldn't keep it in. It's half-time. And it's a case of so far, so good. Manly are leading the Wanderers by 1-0. A goal from Brindley Gentle in about the 12th minute. Set up brilliantly by Sienna Dale. Teams try and get out of the light drizzle and into the dressing sheds. Two big half-time team talks coming up. This is Eric Subihano with the commentary for this Sapphire Cup quarterfinal in Rudy Hill. We'll take a break of about 10 minutes or so. Then we'll be back for the second half. See you soon. Welcome back to our coverage of the Sapphire Cup quarterfinal here at Wanderers Football Park. Eric Sabihana with the commentary. Manly United currently leading the Wanderers by 1-0. And the Wanderers have made a change at half-time. Number 23 in the lime green boots, Miriam Zamaya. Fresh off time with the junior. You won't get that wrong. Fresh off time with the young Matildas. Has entered the fray, so we'll try and confirm who Miriam Zamaya has replaced in the moment, but she's immediately into the action under heavy pressure and prevented the ball from going over the sideline. So if you've missed any of the action, actually hold that thought because it's promising here for the Wanderers when Natali crosses blocked by Roberts, but it was Brindley Gentle scoring in the 12th minute. That's what separates these two teams. Gentle on the ball right now. And then Osborne with a crunching but clean tackle before the infringement was committed by Khalil. Okay, so I think it's Ruby Betro who has made way so that Zamaya can come on. There's a little bit of a reshuffle here as well. As, Manette almost got on the end of that. Zamaya has taken her customary position on the right side of the attack for her to cut inside onto her left boot. Amy Barker has dropped from the Wanderers attack into central midfield, so she is now operating in the centre of the park alongside Maya Khalil for the Wanderers. Zamaya, very good option to bring on. As Ingsard makes it past one player but not, and then has the ball intercepted, but now this will go to Zamaya and Richards can chase. Zamaya fouls Richards there. Very looks good. Discipline from Richards, didn't fall for any of the tricks. Just got her body in the way. So suppose check the shirt numbers out there. Manly have made a halftime sub as well. This is like one of my worst nightmares, both teams making halftime subs. But Emma Bates is on in midfield. And Emma Bates is on in midfield for Manly, and it looks like she has replaced Chloe O'Brien. So perhaps that knock O'Brien took near the end of the first half. So that's why she's been replaced as the Wanderers win it high, and Jackson is back. It's Dale clearing it only as far as Khalil, and is dipping, and very nice looking, a long range effort which wasn't too far away from that top corner. Bates also playing central defence. That's where I've seen her play most of the seasons. That's a nice trick from Manette, letting the ball run through her legs to trick Annabella Keep, but then that's defending there from Millie Bennett, and Bennett surrounded by 3 players, so Osborne takes it straight back and is then fouled by Bennett. Nice back to Emma Bates, I think. So I normally play as a left-sided centre back. She's played for Manly in the brief time she's been at the club since the conclusion of her A-League women duties with Newcastle. And Bates showing her versatility now in midfield for the visitors alongside her captain Ruby Jackson. Here's Dale. Through ball, which should be straightforward for Kroll. Now, fake by Kashaba forward to Barker. And Barker on inside will chase. Roberts is in the position, and Richie coolly finds Arnold. Now, Roberts could have run into trouble here. Natali pressing from the front. Goes back to Richie. Just going for distance, but only finds Kashaba. Puts it in, and then Richards will cushion it for Bates. Good flip from Dale, who's actually pretty good in the air. Not the tallest player, but does have a good leap. teammate, and then it's Gentle who's committed the infringement. Direct ball in, finds Arnold, but Arnold in a hurry as the Wanderers try to press. Barker helps win it back. Now Natali looking for the first time ball, and Cyprus get on the end of it. Nice prod to Zamaya. There she is cutting inside. Shot from range, and it's tipping. Tipped onto the bar. Who's got the rebound? Gilbane, I think, gets there first. I'm pretty sure Richie got a touch on that one. And there you go. It's going to be, actually, it's gone out for a corner, but Zamaya does not need any kind of invitation to have a go from range. And she nearly found the equalizer. So, Kashaba with the corner. It's up, Murray's attacking it. Murray gets a header on it, but that's a more straightforward save for Richie. Sneaky look at the replay from the laptop in front of me. I'm pretty confident Georgia Ritchie got a touch through that long-range effort from Zamaya. We'll count that as a save. Bradshaw, no risks taken there. Handball against Man. Subs have been made, two at halftime, one for each side. Kroll's under pressure here, threads it nicely through to Bennett. And now Kashaba can't get past Gilbane. Here's Dale for Manly. Strong run, decent crossing position. Finds Gentle, and then Barker plays it forward. Natali looking for the first time ball that's between her teammates. And Bates keeps it moving. Gilbane now takes a little flick and it'll run through, and there's the shout from the keeper. So Kroll takes over. But yes, both teams made a sub at halftime, and there was a Wanderer sub in the first half as well. Unfortunately, Melissa McKenzie injured. Hope she's okay. But as Keep strides forward, there's the header from Roberts. Looking back at the subs we may see later. So for the Wanderers, 2 sub windows left, and they could make a maximum of 3 more subs. Possible options are backup keeper Charlotte Church, as well as Madison Gabiria, Mary Dalthroy, Frida Caraberis, and Sophie Ongle. While for Manly, maximum of 4 subs left, and they can use it. They have all 3 windows remaining. Sard back to Zamaya. And swinging cross and headed, I think, by Gilbane. Bates has a look and then has a stolen by Sard. Swing of the boot from Natali. And then eventually that's cleared. Now Gentle doesn't reel it in, so here's Bennett. Actually, Bennett putting herself a bit more centrally. She was played wide on the right in the first half, so perhaps part of another change possibly made at the break, as there's a nice run from Natali, and then the cross is swung out. Play, yes, for Manly players. We might see it later on. Backup keeper Jodie Draver, as well as Ariella Cabezas, Sarah Whelan, India Horsley, Ellie Kerr, and or Mackenzie Jeffs. Wanderers Academy for most of this season, playing in a roughly a 3-4-3 shape. I was thinking they might have switched to a back 4 at the interval, as Imsad, she's got to chase her own flick on. That'll be a fairly straightforward task for Richie. Yes, it does look like. As Jackson finds Roberts. Yeah, I think that looks like a back four now for the Wanderers. Did notice as Dale gets the flick and gets it back from Osborne. Sienna Dale again using her speed. Well, it's covered by Bradshaw. Notice Sienna Dale is kind of taking advantage of a lot of the space in between the leftmost member of the back three in the first half, which was Bradshaw, as well as the space in behind Alvina Marie Kashaba, the left midfielder. So perhaps that's what's led to this switch up. But it does look like, as I said, a back four for the Wanderers, comprising of Kashaba, Bradshaw, Murray, and Keep. Wanderers playing it out from the back. Zamaya, the ball skims off the slightly wet grass and away from her. As Khalil, that's a nice ball to find Natali. Now Bennett definitely playing in central midfield now, I think, as part of a Wanderers midfield trio alongside Michael and Amy Barker. Saad trying to find Natali. Might still break through, but little prod from Bates. Goes back to Richie. Bates. Good header, which Richards does retrieve. It goes past Minette. There we go. Wanderers ball once more. 57th minute played here. Oh, they're in the 57th minute at Wanderers Football Park. Wanderers 0, Manly 1. Brindley Gentle's goal is what separates the two sides, but closest the Wanderers came, there was a big chance for Alyssa Saab in the first half, and in the second half, Miriam Zamaya with a long-range effort tipped onto the underside of the bar. As the flag is up, Casey Fleming has caught Emily Minette offside there. Barker wants to thread it through, and that's a nice one for Ngsad into the box. Ngsad could not get past Roberts. It will be a corner for the youngsters in the red and black. Kashaba once again, as is customary this season, trotting over to the flag for corner kick duties. Signal, and in it goes. Murray trying to get a head on it, but it was defended, and then Dale speed to keep it in, prevents the throw, and against a lot of meters for Wanderers. Annabelle Kroll. It's Keep. Bennett is the wide option, but Keep makes a step forward and now plays in Bennett. Passing angles blocked by Richards. And we're going to have a substitution for who? Manly. Going to make a sub. It's a test of my eyesight. Actually, they're going to make a double sub. So Brindley Gentle and Kayla Osborne. End of the shift for them. Productive shifts for both. And I think IC Football New South Wales employee Ellie Kerr sprinting onto the field, as well as Sarah Whelan. So that would be Ellie Kerr's kind of the direct replacement in Manly's attack for Brindley Gentle, and then Sarah Whelan will replace Kayla Osborne midfield for Manly. Zamaya. Touch towards Bates. Now Kerr. First reaction, but she's stopped by Keep. Keep finding the open player, who is Bradshaw. Bradshaw. Aggressive pass. And Natali trying to stay on side. Gilbane might have got the jump and just shepherd that over fairly easily for the goal kick, as we near the hour mark here at Wanderers Football Park. Might Manly moving it from out inside their own area to construct a move, and Kashab's got the better of Dale that time. So, some coming fixtures for Manly. Already mentioned Sunday, 5 p.m. They host Sydney University at Cromer. And after that, we're already into the second half of the season. By the way, Manly versus Sydney Uni on Sunday, called by Emily Arnold, I believe. As Kroll let it roll past her, but didn't have the momentum to go over the goal line, so I knew she had plenty of time. As Kashaba bounces off Gilbane, and now Gilbane will find Whelan for her first touch, I think, since coming on the field. And there's another touch for Whelan. Now, ball, again, easy for Kroll. So, yes, coming fixtures for Manly. And as we look to the month of June, so Sunday, 7th of June, 5 p.m., Manly hosts MacArthur Rams at Cromer Park. And I hope it's as it is for the roster, because the roster says that will be called by Ashley Borg, who you may have heard on the streams for Jets home games last season. Hopefully Ashley is able to make the trip down from Newcastle to call that one, as that's a great ball to Zamaya for defending there by Manly. Now Kerr. Jackson pressured by Barker. And on the near side, Wanderers just really trying to turn the screw, and they've won the throw-in as well. Yes. It was a bit brief on Ashley Borg. Yeah, it's just unlucky Jets got relegated, so he stopped getting games with us, but he does have plenty of commentary gigs. But I just want to say, I hope Ashley Borg calls Manly versus MacArthur on the 7th of June. Yeah. Always good to have a Maltese commentator in our team, as that's defended by Grace Arnold. Actually, well, another Maltese commentator, because Mark DePaoli is also part Maltese, but you know what I mean. Now, Khalil. Work back Bennett. It's some room centrally. Bennett clips one to Kashaba. Nice first touch. Wants to take on Gilbane. The second defender is Roberts. Sends it over the sideline. Now, Wanderers' turn to make a substitution. Second sub window, that is. Alyssa Ngsad is the player who makes way. So my guess is Sophie Ongle? No, I was wrong. So I see a number 28. So that would be Frida Karaberys on the socials, on the Wanderers women's socials recently, awarded first A-League contract. So congratulations to Frida. So that's cleared into the fence by Gilbane. And Karaberys replacing Ngsad. Now whipped in, and that was already out, I think. Oh, actually, no, it wasn't out. Well, you know what my eyesight's like. Anyway, let's get on with it. As Whelan puts the pressure on, goes back to the keeper, and Minette senses a chance. Kroll has gotten rid of that, but Dale's interested in the loose ball, and Dale will shoot from range. And yes, decent effort. And probably the right decision from Dale, because Kroll wasn't quite back in position. The ball hits the big fence behind the goal. Goal to our left. Once again, Minette leading the press. This time trying to pressure Bradshaw, and it's a little win for Emily Minette as the ball goes over the sideline. in it goes. Header from Khalil, and Wheeler couldn't slow it down, so this is Zumaya. And Zumaya threads one through, but Carterberry's... Oh, no, sorry, Natali, my apologies, but Natali caught offside. So Manly holding the line well. Wanderers settled it off the high ball. Wouldn't exactly say time was the enemy yet. But want to not waste any time, as Manly might have won it high, and Whelan saw the opportunity charging into the box. It is cleared by Murray. Natali judged the bouncing ball better than others. Barker, that's a great ball, dropping it over the top of the defender. Zumaya one-on-one with Richards. Is that a good game? And Zumaya does win the throw. I think of who's having the good, which players having the particularly standing out in this one. I am reminded, unlike the league, I don't have to send 3-2-1 votes, so a little bit less thinking for me. It's a quick feed from Zumaya, but then their teammates not really on the same wavelength. Wanderers still have the ball, but Jackson looking a bit sore, so we'll have a stoppage of play. Jackson, I think we'll get back to her feet. Actually, we go back to Manly's upcoming fixtures in the month of June. I've already talked about 7th of June. Actually, Manly-MacArthur, a rematch of the epic 2017 NPL Women's New South Wales Grand Final, of course. And I trust that whoever calls it won't butcher someone's surname really badly, like what happened 9 years ago, but that's another story. But anyway, Sunday, 14th of June, Manly host a Sydney Olympic. That's a 5 p.m. kickoff, and their roster says Will Constantinides will be making the trip up to Cromer for that one to call, so that's good stuff. Then for Manly, Saturday, 20th of June, 6:30 p.m. at North Tarramara, they're away to Northern Tigers. Zamai gets the touch, and then zinged across the box, and then corner, yes, so late run, I think, from Caraberes. Good setup from Zamaya. It's going to be a corner. Yes, just to finish that thought, Saturday, 20th of June, 6:30 p.m. Northern Tigers versus Manly. It's a Saturday night at North Tarramara, so yes, you guessed it, Annabelle Banfield's on the roster for that one. Where would our Saturday coverage be without Annabelle? Whipped in, and Murray was attacking it. They take a couple of goes to clear it. It's Dale who swings the boot, and now Kerr trying to lead the attack. Stopped by Bennett. Keep. Curls one. Zamaya was backing off, and Minette definitely not backing off. Kerr finds Whelan. There's a loose shin pad somewhere. Now as Manly keep it moving to the right side. Sienna Dale, little stumble, but still has it. And now to Jackson, who shoots over the bar, and there's still a shin pad that is unaccounted for somewhere on the field. And I think Miriam Zamaya looking at it intently, but apparently not hers. Now, well, actually, Wanderers not allowed to get on with it. It's Dale. Sienna Dale, it's the old cramp as we're into the 70th minute or thereabouts, so good to see Minette stretching it out, but yeah, Sienna Dale, busy week. One of the many players from this league involved in the Young Matildas action over the past week. As the remaining Manly United substitutes, Draver, Cabezas, Horsley and Jeffs go through their paces on the sideline. Dale walking off the field under her own steam, so should see her back on before in a matter of moments. Kroll. Delivers that one, but misses the target, and now that's a nice turn from Bates. And they keep the quick passing moving. Whelan again getting involved. It's been a good little cameo for Sarah Whelan, but that's great tackle from Bennett. And Zamaya. And Fred through the blue jerseys. Whelan again. Richards. And Richards. There's the lunge from Murray. So Bates takes over. I think that will be Sienna Dale back on the field. Swings. Sienna Dale, out of nothing, has made it 2-0. With a deadly swing of the left boot. She's been loving these one-on-one situations all game. Decided to have a go from range. Has dropped it over Annabelle Kroll into the back of the net. And it's looking good for Manly to make their first ever Sapphire Cup semi-final. Moment of magic, creating a buffer for the visitors. It's one of the young stars of this competition, also one of the young stars of the A-League competition, it has to be said, Sienna Dale, who has absolutely made an impact on this game. She set up the first for Brindley Gentle, scored the second. Team from the Beaches in a comfortable position. That might have been the scoreboard actually. Clearance from Bradshaw. Now substitution time, so it's the check this. Yep, it's the final throw of the dice for Jamie Dibb. So Mia Natali is one of the players to be making her way to the bench. I think Maya Khalil is the other. We see number 45, Sophie Orngel, coming on. Try and locate the other new player. Another newly introduced player. It'd be number 25, Mary Dalbroy. Stolen by Bennett, and Bennett looks up, goes from range, and it's doesn't have the power required to trouble Georgia Ritchie. So it looks like Orngel is the replacement in Wanderers attack, I think, or at least as a wide player replacement for Natali. Orngel's gone out wide. Zamaya now playing more centrally, actually leading the my furthest forward for the Wanderers. Down the line by Murray, and Arnold has to play at it. Finds Jackson, and that's good play. Finding the open player, who is Roberts. Oh, to complete that thought of Manly's fixtures in June. Now you'll see why we're so interested in talking about their June fixtures, because the month of June ends for Manly Sunday 20th of June at 5 p.m. They host RP Leichhardt at Cromer Park, and I'll be calling that one. Barker. And off Roberts last, despite the visitors claiming the throw. I'll be pretty pleased with how things have gone so far. A lot less stressful than the last time they were in this particular part of Blacktown Council, that's for sure, but the job isn't done yet as Ritchie clears. Bennett trying to spin away from Kerr, finds Keep. Keep. Little curler. Keeper stays on the line. There's the header from Roberts, I think it is. So Richards is here, and Richards wins the throw. Bradshaw drives through the space. Now, Dalbroy. And that pass behind her teammate, so Jackson takes over. Kerr. Kerr back to Arnold. Minette, possession play, finding Roberts into the final quarter of an hour here. Trying to see this one out, as that's a nice touch from Caraberis, a great skill from Caraberis, but then dispossessed. And there's a driving run from Dale, just stopped by Bradshaw. Minette tries from range, it's dropping, but not in time. Now, Manly substitution. So, this is substitution window number 2. I believe for the visitors. Ruby Jackson walking to the sideline, and she'll be replaced by Ariela Cabezas, in the number 17 jersey. So Bates looking backwards, and now Arnold spreads it wide to Gilbane. Man, they keep it moving. Minette. It's just about got the better of Bradshaw. Dale keeps it in. There's Bates shooting from range, and that's just going to hit the big fence behind the goal. And Annabelle Kroll sets up for this latest goal kick. No time to waste. 79th minute here, Manly leading the Wanderers by 2-0. Roberts has been pinged for the free kick there. Right ping for the foul there. And again, Wanderers restarting things quickly. It's a 1-2 there, but Zamaya way too heavy on the return pass. Kashaba was never going to catch up to that one. Winds up, and I think a bit too much curl on that one, so it ends up in the spectator area. And Ongle quickly retrieves another ball. Cabezas getting wider. That is Gilbane. And Shaw was there defending each other. Fascinating battle with Sienna throughout the game. The Manly number 38, I think, pretty good about herself for what she's contributed to put Manly in this commanding position as we enter the final 10 minutes of regulation. Is Bates picking one up, and Dalbroy plays it clear. Now Bradshaw direct. It's going to be over Orngall. It's over Arnold as well. So sweeping up is Roberts. And then Cooley. That's Ritchie distributing to Gilbane. There's Kroll. Kroll plays one out. There's Keep. And Manly in preventing the Wanderers from getting too far into their half as Bennett to Orngall took the sting out of that. So Myers found Barker. Now Kashaba. Kashaba, a little dink, but Orngall couldn't get there in time. Roberts clears. Another clearance over into field 5 or whatever that is, the field in the distance, which the teams use for pre-game warm-ups. There's a touch, and then that's going to be a free kick. So, is this the moment for the Wanderers? Time really starting to run out. They reached the semi-finals in their debut Sapphire Cup entry last year. But as things stand, things looking against them. But there's still enough time for them to change that. A left-footed and a right-footed option over this set piece. As Georgia Ritchie has positioned the two-player wall. Well, Georgia Ritchie and the ref, Isabella Mawson. It's the in-swinger, and it's going to be too high and into top of the fence behind the goal. Now, and that's the final sub in the final sub window as well. That's Emily Manette, who'll have a little bit of an early mark. Looks like she's going to be replaced in Manly's attack by number 28, Mackenzie Jeffs. Now, flicks off Richards' boot, fine. And now to Keep, who's wide in the box and they couldn't wrap her foot around it. Back and Kroll clears. Gilbane happy to just settle for the throw. So I think there's Gilbane with a short throw. It's a strong tackle from Barker there. Leading to another Manly throw. Jeff's first touch on the ball. Gilbane. And that's off Dale for a Wanderers throw. Wanderers they're really down. Do need to hurry, but as the ref makes sure the throw is taken from the correct position, just do a brief shout out for not this weekend's games, but the weekend after, the weekend of Saturday 6th and Sunday 7th of June in NPL Women's New South Wales, as well as the League One Women's Match of the Round. Let's start with the League One Women's Match of the Round. Sunday 7th of June, 5 p.m. It's the Spartans hosting South Coast Flame, and that is at the facility next door. We know that as Spartan Park. But for the first weekend of June, the NPL Women's New South Wales matchups on Saturday 6th of June at 2:45 p.m. from the Village Green. Venue with one of the best names in the state leagues, but it's UNSW hosting the Rangers, and Cody Ojeda will be in Kensington for the commentary there. As Bennett takes over for the Wanderers. And I'll try to drip feed this games from the 6th and 7th through the remainder of this commentary. Throw in there, Sunday 7th of June, 2:40 p.m. from Northbridge Oval. It's Bulls FC Academy versus Hills United. As that war has gone on. Well, I don't envy whoever has to retrieve that ball after the game. Goal kick to the Wanderers. Kroll. Again, Wanderers persisting with the short goal kick. But they really do need to move the ball upfield in hurry, and it's credit to Manly. They've been very disciplined, especially since going 2-0 up. Not really making it easy for the Wanderers to construct their passing moves. As here's Whelan to Dale. Dale up, and then Kroll. The safe pair of hands, the kind of catching ability you'd expect from someone who also plays second-grade cricket for Manly Warringah Cricket Club. Yes, Annabelle Kroll, one of those incredibly talented women. There's a lot of them in Australian women's football that are also seemingly very good at cricket. As Kerr is dispossessed by multiple Wanderers, and then Barker threads it through to Kashaba. Now, that's Umaya with Gilbane in close attendance. Whips it in, it's over the keeper and past everyone at the back post. Keep was the closest to it for the Wanderers. Dangerous ball from Zumaya. What a zip on it, but no one in red and black able to apply the finishing touch. Yeah, what is it with Australian women's football and cricket? Well, it's most famously Ilona Melig turned down an Australia under-19 cricket team call up to focus on Adelaide on the most recent A-League women's season with Adelaide United, and that's resulted in young Matilda's call-ups and her first senior Matilda's call-up as well. So Ilona appears to have made the right decision. As Willa Pearson, who somehow found time to be both a Sydney FC A-League women player and playing cricket for Manly Warringah simultaneously. How do they do it? Skyhall Marek played for Sydney and for both Sydneys, Sydney Cricket Club and Sydney Football Club, etc., etc. Now, flick back, Dale whips it in, side-footed away. Gilbane up into the blender. Good header from Murray. Samaya couldn't make it stick, but it's a good tackle from Barker, and Samaya stopped by Roberts. Now, Wanderers have worked it to find space for Bennett, and then Bennett sees grass in front of her. Pressure from Bates coming. Bennett runs into a blue cul-de-sac. Barker trying to keep it alive. Great footwork. Still Amy Barker. And then just ran out of room, did Amy Barker, but it was a thrilling run nonetheless. Ongle stopped on the edge of the box. Finally, Manly clear into opposition territory. Jeffs with the fresh legs will chase, so Bradshaw just gets rid. And Arnold just plays it out for a throw-in. Another way. Going back to as well, a keep offside with the pass, return pass off the throw-in. Anyway, to games, NPL women's games from the weekend, 6th, 7th of June. So Sunday, 7th of June at 3:10 p.m. I will be at the Arctic Circle. to call Ravens versus Northern Tigers. And then there's 3 NPL women's games Sunday 7th of June at 5 p.m, starting with Sydney University versus RPL Leichhardt, the Tory Truman Trophy from Sydney Uni Football Ground, also at 5 p.m. on the 7th of June. As I said earlier, Manly versus Macarthur Rams, called by Ashley Borg. And also 5 p.m. Sunday 7th of June, it's the Wanderers versus Illawarra Stingrays, called by Annabelle Banfield. That'll be at this ground. Now whipped in, cleared by Bradshaw, and then completing the action from the 7th of June, 5:40 p.m. It's Sydney Olympic hosting Spirit FC from the Crest. Dale takes the tumble, but all it is a Wanderers throw, and now we are into stoppage time. And job's almost done for Manly. Bennett turns. Jeffs with the pressure. Bennett keeps her footing. Plays it. I think that's Dalbroy. Dalbroy chopping inside, but runs into Whelan. And then go. Early. And last chance saloon for the Wanderers, although they need a couple of chances, obviously. Fail to draw level. Interesting ball, which Karaberry's chases, and Roberts with another thumping clearance onto another field here at Wanderers Football Park. Bennett finding Keep. Keep should stop it from going over the sideline. The one-on-one opportunity. Rolls it across and then side-footed away by Cabezas. Murray goes direct and Barker has chased it. Barker with, that's always going to be a tricky one. Ball going over your shoulder to try and hit it near the goal. And very much understandably is off target. Murray clears. Looks like Sienna-Dale will catch all the headlines. A goal and an assist. To be honest, I haven't seen a winger this good wearing blue since the last time I watched Jamie Frezard, but Sienna-Dale has certainly been excellent tonight. And the team from the Beaches almost there. In fact, they are there. So, for the first time, Manly United will play in a Sapphire Cup semi-final. They've defeated the Western Sydney Wanderers Academy by 2-0. A goal early on from Brindley Gentle, set up well by Sienna-Dale, who then scored a spectacular second goal to really seal the deal for Tom Hopley's side. Manly United will be away to Northern Tigers in the Sapphire Cup semi-finals. Keep an eye on the usual channels, Football New South Wales socials, as well as socials from the respective clubs for match details. The other semi-final, by the way, is Hills United at home to the University of New South Wales. So next up for these two clubs, as I said, Manly hosting Sydney University on Sunday at Cromer Park with commentary from Emily Arnold, while for the Wanderers, they are away to Sydney Olympic on Sunday at 5:40 p.m. with Annabelle Banfield on the commentary there. And for what it's worth, my next commentary gig is on Sunday at 2:40 p.m. I'll be calling Bulls versus Rangers from Northbridge Oval. But that is that. So on behalf of Football New South Wales, our broadcast partner Sportscast, and tonight's camera operator Sophie, this is Eric Subihano signing off from Rudy Hill. Hope you've enjoyed your night, and we hope it's not too long before you have your company on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel once more. The final score from this Sapphire Cup quarterfinal is Western Sydney Wanderers 0, Manly United 2. Good night.